please have Mr. Tim McNeil come to the podium to start our induction ceremony.
Ryan Bell would have thrived as a caveman. He loved throwing long, sharp objects really, really far. In track and field, we often have great athletes and we find other events that they can do. I have no doubt that Ryan would have been a great discus thrower or shot putter, but he was only focused on throwing the javelin. Ryan came to us in his junior year, and I'd like to think that legendary coach Gene Nicholson had a lot to do with this. Those of you that don't know Coach Nicholson, he coached every single sport here at Westminster College, and he was an expert on every single sport here at Westminster. Coach Nicholson bled blue, though, and he helped us land the most decorated Titan thrower in Westminster history, as Coach Nicholson was Ryan Bell's neighbor. I would like to note that in your program, Ryan Bell is listed as only being a one-time PAC javelin champion, even though he was with us for 2 years. And that is always been kind of a thorn in my side as to why that happened. Ryan had the furthest throw in the conference that year, and as a matter of fact, he was already in the top 15 in the country at that point. But Bethany College was where we were competing the PAC Championships, and they had a grass runway. And it was a rainy mess that day. Because he was the top thrower in the conference coming in, he was the last thrower in the last flight of that event. So don't you know what, on his very first throw, he threw it out there to get second place. The winner of that event actually threw the first throw in the first flight that day. Ryan Bell got the last laugh, though, as he was an All-American that year in the NCAA National Track and Field Meet. I would like to present to you Ryan Bell, Hall of Fame inductee for the sport of track and field.
Well, I guess I'd like to thank everybody for coming here and for inducting me into the Hall of Fame. It's definitely a great honor. I probably should just start by saying I grew up in New Wilmington. In fact, you could, maybe one or two throws of a stone, you could probably hit Old Main from my house. So I grew up, went to Wilmington, and there were times when I would be training, just running for recreation or training for sports I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue to pursue or not. And I'd come to Westminster and run on the old gravel track. I'd hang out on our fields, running hills up the hill over there by the amphitheater. And at Westminster felt like it was, it basically is home because I lived right there in town. But in high school, I wasn't the most talented javelin thrower at first. But I had a hunger for the sport that's unusual. And anyway, over the years, I've worked with Coach Nicholson and Ray Sabula and J.R. McFarland and a few other people. And basically, I kind of worked my way up to the point where my senior year, I had the 10th farthest throw in high school history, and I did pretty well. So I wanted to go on and do Division I, and I went down south, went to Division I school, and did well as a freshman. And then my sophomore year wasn't so great. So I kind of reached a very low point, and I decided to leave that school, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do next. And that's kind of where Westminster stepped in. I contacted Coach McNeil, and I said, hey, I think maybe I just want to throw for Westminster and just have fun and not worry so much about my performance and when it matters to Division I school and all that pressure. So I reached out to Coach McNeil, and I reached out to Coach Fry, and decided to enroll at Westminster. That first season, I finally had a throw that I was happy with, and I remember the first thing I did was call Coach Fry, and he didn't answer. So then I called Coach McNeil and told him that it was a pretty good throw, and I was happy to finally be doing well. And I definitely credit the Westminster community, Coach Staffler, and just kind of opening up the facilities to me. And I've had a habit of being the last one to leave the facility for a while, and that turned into a problem. So I need to leave a little earlier. Yeah. But anyway, over the course of those 2 years, I felt I did pretty well here, and I really appreciate all the help and support of all the staff. Post-collegiately, I have gotten into coaching, and I've coached some great throwers as a private coach, and that led to an opportunity to coach at Youngstown State. So I'm coaching there at the moment. But you know what? Like, this all couldn't have happened without this community here and the opportunity to be myself, to take the pressure off me and to allow for me to thrive in a nurturing environment amongst great people. So, thank you.